Hey, my friends, jumping back in with another Canadian band, Loverboy. Now, I was there when this aired. I watched this on TV on American Bandstand in 1981. Um, it was like the first 4 or 5 cassettes I bought. It was one of those. I bought REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity, Ted Nugent, Scream Dream, Rush, Moving Pictures, and April Wine, The Nature of the Beast were my first five. And I remember, walking down the street in my little town with my boombox cranking "The Kid Is Hot Tonight." Um, so this takes me back to 1981, uh, watching this on TV. It's super cool. So let's check it out. Of course, they lip synced on American Bandstand, but it was a great show. Great bass line in this. It's super cool. This was like a springboard for many artists to get on American Bandstand. Um, and it worked. It totally worked for just about everybody. I mean, Loverboy became really big. I mean, they put this album out, then they put out Get Lucky, Working for the Weekend. Um, Everything they put out was just absolutely incredible. And then, once the '90s started coming in, they just kind of faded away. Um, but they're still out there playing. You got to respect them. You got to love them. Man, those days when I was walking down the street with my boombox, cranking this, 14 years old is how old I was when this came out. Just carefree, not a care in the world. It was just about living life. You didn't have, but your responsibilities at home, mowing the grass, whatever your parents were asking you to do. Outside of that, summertime, freedom. It was all the artists that I mentioned, and I was the first one to have all those in my area. It was just a small town to have all those cassettes. People used to always try to borrow them from me. I'd be like, no, because I'll never get it back. Um, I know. I had tried with albums and never got them back. So, super cool. American Bandstand was just a springboard again for so many great artists. Unbelievable. I mean, yeah, they lip sync, but who cares? It still was fun. Um, and it really promoted the artist. So you got to give Dick Clark credit for that. He was just an incredible guy. Unbelievable. Ah, you look at the crowd. Ah, the '80s, and I love his microphone too. It's got that pull-out antenna for wireless. Um, just quintessential '80s right here, guys. And Loverboy was a big part of the '80s. Absolutely, so much goodness came out of Canada in that era. It still does, obviously, but specifically for me, growing up in that time, Rush, Loverboy, Trooper, April Wine, Bryan Adams, um, and the list just goes on and on and on and on for great Canadian artists. Um, and belated Happy Canada Day to you guys too. I meant to say that on Canada Day, however, slipped my mind. So belated Happy Canada Day. So it's funny how it ends on American Bandstand. It's just like, the kid. And it like kind of just dies off. American Bandstand. I mean, that show was on forever. Um, sadly it went off the air and Dick Clark passed away, obviously. But it would never have been the same without him. He is responsible for helping so many artists make it. I mean, think about it, guys. Now we have shows like The Voice and all that stuff, or America's Got Talent. But we didn't need competition back in the '80s, right? We just had them on American Bandstand, and that was their exposure. Now it's like everybody's putting out their own videos right here on YouTube. So way harder to make it back then. When you don't have that social media stuff. So any band back then, you got to give them credit because they worked hard to get to where they were. So anyway, just reliving a couple memories here with you guys. Probably nobody will watch the few that I choose. Nobody really ever does. However, I had fun doing them. It brings me back in time. So, all right, guys, have a great one, and we'll see you soon.